Last few days the rain hasn't really lasted. It's just like rained a bit then stopped and rained a bit then stopped. So I'm hoping that'll be the case, although it kind of looks like a steady sort of rain day. Apple cinnamon today. We're almost out of peaches and cream. Oh man, it's like a bad dream, but fortunately, just to give me some apple cinnamon. It's still pretty good in my tummy. Yum yum. About to eat some breakfast. Then I'm gonna get just a little bit reckless. Starting the day off with portage, not as long as the other ones, probably about 450 meters or so, but it's super rugged. Like I have to go over loose boulders and then tricky maneuvering more or less to scale, kind of like to bypass some cliffs, and a slip and fall could be severely injury-some. But once I get past this, I have another set of rapids right after it. These are marked on the Canadian 1 to 50 topographic map. There's another set and then another set. So I might have to portage this, load the boat, paddle a bit, eddy out, unload, portage, load the boat, paddle a bit, and I'm talking about like a couple hundred meters in between rapids. I'm hoping like at least one of the next ones is runnable, but I might be portaging 2 or 3 times, 3 times max today. But if I can get past this, I have, you know, many kilometers of like river that doesn't have any obstructions on it. You know, just kind of like be on your toes, some class 1, class 2s, fast current, but nothing that will smash my canoe into smithereens and kill me. So yeah, I'm hoping I can get past this and then start making some good time again. But yeah, this is going to slow things down. I don't think this would really be runnable at any water level. Maybe the upper portion, and then you can kind of run that and then eddy out before the like crazy waterfall thing. But yeah, I'm just gonna eat breakfast. The Portage Trail starts right here. That's convenient, and like just start carrying basically, and try to bang this off as quickly as possible. Yep. Just gonna be a rainy one today. I might as well put my dry suit bottoms on for the portage. Other than that, it's rain pants. Definitely not looking forward to doing this portage, but I am looking forward to getting it over with. I trapped a little mouse in my canoe when I flipped it over. It's trying to bite me. A mouse bites. Oh, look. Man, that thing bites hard. Oh man, it's putting up a fight, this little feisty little guy. I got some respect for this little dude. Might as well have been a panther that bit me. I feel like he chewed through my airbag in my canoe because I see it deflated. So this mouse might have really me, beat me up and trashed my gear. You probably thought like, wow, what a perfect little hideaway from the rain. Anyways, I guess I just grabbed some stuff from my canoe and I'm gonna start portaging my gear. Rain's pretty steady now, but not too hard. So hopefully shouldn't raise the river too much. This is gonna be a tough one. Well, I'm just plodding along, and not far after the beginning, I noticed this old trail that goes right up the hill. Unfortunately, I'm guessing that this is the trail to bypass both sets of rapids and the entire canyon, which tells me that whatever's downriver from here, I was thinking maybe I could run it, might be a waste of my time, and I'd just be able to paddle 100 meters, unload, and portage again, where I'd be better off to just portage the whole thing in one shot. It'd be faster, but I think I'm gonna risk it and just
I did see a trail the way I went too, which also means that potentially the lower rapid is runnable. So I'm just gonna go with what I scouted. It could mean I could put myself in potentially a more dangerous situation because it might mean that there's not really a good place to take out before the next rapid, or it might just be a time suck because it means I have to unload my boat and all that again. So I'm just gonna go with the plan though. And of course now I don't have a trail here. I got my drone and in this bag, so I don't want it to fall off. So far not so good. Holy this goes up and around too. Bull. I don't need to portage the entire thing. I'm just gonna cut back down to the river. But all these trails are like going right up onto the rim of the canyon. This is why it's nice to have some accurate river notes, or you know, from someone else who's done it before. And then there's no guesswork. Most of the people don't exactly remember unless they're making notes while they're here. So I'm just gonna, I guess, portage along the rocks here. These drift pile lines are from when the river's in flood. Man down! Oh, I just stepped on a rock coming through basically a drift pile and some jagged boulders and some slick rock, and thought my boots would have grip, but they just did not. Starting to think that maybe the top of the canyon route was better. It's looking like this is going to take a lot longer than anticipated. I guess I'm going to try to take my bags one by one over this horrific. Maybe break this part up into 2 carries. A little easier going through here. And there it is, the end. Bit of a clamber to get there though. Slippery. Avoid the smooth areas of the rock. People wouldn't have come this way regardless, just because you go back long enough. All those sharp, jagged rocks being carried under heavy packs will just trash your moccasins. That's why they would have taken the soft trail. Wolf came this way too. Well, hallelujah, here we are. I am definitely going to have to, after I get my stuff here, climb up the hill and scout around the corner. Might even do that now, because if I put in here and I round that corner and there's another class 5, I'll be in big trouble, and it's a very likely thing considering the next rapid isn't marked any differently than this one. But you never know. There's not really too many consistencies on just standard topographic maps, because they're just done in the north. They're all done from aerial surveys in the 70s or 80s. So a lot can change in that period of time as well, but it's hard to decipher you know, what you're looking at from black and white aerial photos. Well, the good news is that from where I left my bags on my first load, a trail comes up the hill here and meets with this main trail. So that means I won't have walked too far out of my way if I have to keep portaging. But right now I'm just walking along this trail to scout the blind corner. If it's a unrunnable rapid, I want to make sure that there's a safe back eddy with a place where I can get out and portage around it. I want to scout it and figure out how to run it, or at least, you know, get an idea with what I'll be faced for on whether I should continue portaging or not. This part through here looks like no problem, but it's around that corner where I have to go look. From here it looks like I'll be able to run the remainder of this canyon from where I put in, so fingers crossed. Still got to walk down more and check it out, but should be some fun standing waves, class 3 standing waves, a little maneuvering at the bottom, and then some tricky currents. But hopefully, I just got to go see what's around this little point here, but hopefully we can do her. Oh, woo! Looks like some big stuff down there. Basically, I just run up to class 3. If it's a class 4 or even a tricky class 3 with dangerous stuff after it, I won't run, but a lot of people will only run up to class 2s on trips like this. Yikes. Oh, maybe I could run it, I don't know. Looks crazy though. Might be able to sneak down it on the left or something. Can't see it on the GoPro, but right in there's some really crazy irregular waves and a huge hole and a boulder and a big boiling eddy coming back this way. Likely would dump if I went through there because you have to come and turn. It would be pretty intense. I've done stuff like that before. There's a chance I could run this, but with my heavily loaded boat in such a remote area and with the class 3 afterwards and pinning boulders downriver, this is not the place to be doing that kind of stuff. I learned my lesson after that dump on the Hess that scared the bejesus out of me. Terrible news, guys. Terrible freaking news. I have to portage the whole canyon. This is gonna take me all freaking day. This is just crazy down here. The water's too high. There's just a line of just crazy curling waves, crazy boiling current on the left, huge boulder on the right, and just no route down without hitting some stuff that's very likely gonna dump me. And then boulders downriver, which I could pin my canoe and wrap on, plus ripping current, and then a class 3 downriver. So I'm gonna have to portage this and then run what's downriver, which looks manageable. But yeah, really news, guys. This is just gonna quadruple the length of my portage here. So yeah, gotta finish going all the way around there, over that, and probably down to that eddy over there. Well, I'm just going to detach all emotion and just get it done. But this is going to be probably the longest portage of the trip now. I have more than enough time to finish this. I got out of camp relatively early this morning, so I really don't know how much further I'm going to be able to make it today. And then there is another marked rapid just after this. It's unfortunate because if I just had lower water, like the water's just been really high. There's been flooding in the Yukon this year. It's been really high everywhere. And if I had more normal water levels, I'd likely be able to run all of this stuff. So it's too bad, but it is what it is. Yeah, like all this is manageable, but I can't run this. And then how would I get up the canyon? How would I get over to the side before that rapid? You know, there's no back eddies, and the ones that are tiny, it'd be impossible to load my boat and then scale a cliff. It's making me feel better than attempting to run that, because then I'd be just bricks and likely would dump. I know I'm doing the right thing. I got little kids at home, my little 11-month-old Hudson and my special little 4-year-old Wesley. I don't want to do anything that could endanger my life, because those two little guys need me. And just from my own perspective, I just want to make sure that I see them again and again, regardless of how they would feel. So yeah, so I just got to be smart about these things. There's my gear down there. So first order business is coming up this super steep hill. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. Well, at least I'll lose a few lbs on this trip. That's for sure. I had a fall, another fall, barely grabbed this upper bag before it rolled down the hill into the river. Probably shouldn't be carrying so much. Spread out the load a little, but the canoe will be easier than this because it's a tough stuff 15-foot Prospector by Novacraft. They're a lot lighter than other whitewater materials, so definitely it'll be easier than this. Anyways, getting there. Oh my God. That was horrible. Well, just on the walk back here, that's one good thing about portaging is the walk back. So you can look at it like a hike. So I'm hiking a canyon right now, and I'll get finished when I get finished. I don't want to, clearly rushing on that last carry would have just resulted in severe injury or death. So definitely don't want to rush. See, these are the things you miss when you have a 100-pound load over your shoulder. So that's why I enjoy the walk back. Back at camp, I feel like I haven't been here for years. All right, ready for the next load. Well, here's why I say, hey bear, when I'm coming down the trail, because bears use the trail too. So it's good to say, hey bear, once in a while when you're all alone out here in the grizzly bear wilderness. The river's already started to come up in volume here. I think I should be all right though, but pops into my mind, man, don't leave your stuff close to the shore. Anyways, one more trip with the canoe. Hopefully this rain dies off before I jump back onto the river though. This is nuts. Oh my goodness, man, this is rain. I found another bypass route that like cuts off the corner because this canyon's on a bit of a half moon. It's a really old trail and it's really hard to follow in some places. I think I'm gonna give it a go. Hopefully I don't get turned around. It's just gonna be tough with the canoe over my head. It really limits the visibility. Only thing is, this trail goes up and up and up. Another whole tier higher than the other one. That kind of getting hung up in the trees. Oh, it's exhausting. Coming up a big hill. Oh, I'm so gassed. Here's the crossroads. Right, goes back down along those slippery, jagged boulders where I went on my first trip and left. Goes up and cuts off the corner on a trail that doesn't get used much. Lost the trail already. Oh. Down and bash me inside because of Charlie horsing, but I can push through it. Easily a mile, this portage. Easily a mile long, this portage. Probably more. The route I went the first time, the dangerous route, is even longer. So this sort of high road is probably a bit shorter. It's got to be a mile though. So I'd say the first route's probably like close to a mile and a half. Maybe we'll call it 2 kilometers. This is 1.6, but we're starting to come down in elevation now, so I'm getting pretty close. Done. Yes. Well, it was not something I expected to have to do, with portage that entire canyon, but I did it and it feels great to get it over with. Look at all this gear I got over here now. Well, it looks like the clouds are lifting, at least for now, so that torrential downpour has come to an end. I'm about to run what is likely the craziest rapid of the adventure. The only thing is there's no pinning boulders and no downriver rapid, so I feel a lot more confident that if I did dump and the sketchy part's only at the very end, that it wouldn't be the end of the world. It's almost impossible to scout and endless to portage too, so I'm gonna go for it. It looks like an intense class 3 at the end. I just don't know where I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna have to scout one from the boat when I get a little closer, maybe eddy out, but should be some fun standing waves. And once I'm through this, I'm past the Mark Rapids and I should be able to make some time again. But what a beautiful and challenging section of river this has been here. As much as I'm happy to be through it, I'm also sad to likely never lay eyes on this part of the world again. So I'll always remember this canyon and the horrible portage, but yet the incredible beauty of it. Well, I got the boat loaded up and figured it'd just be easier to walk down on the side I was on to check out the next rapid. And at first look at it, I got concerned and like, oh my god, because the portage trail continues, but it looks like it's going to be a runnable class 3, a pretty long one, only a bit is class 3, and it looks like I can avoid the crazy stuff. So awesome news. I'm gonna keep going down and hopefully there's nothing more interesting around the corner. Way down there's some gnarly stuff, but as you can see by these cliffs around there and on the other side too, it's pretty much impossible to scout, but it looks like a class 3, so I'm gonna just have to take that risk. Even a class 3 is runnable, but you got to avoid the big stuff, so at least you want to be close to it and scout a route, right? I guess I can walk way the down there. This is the last marked rapid and then I'm home free for a while, so just one death-defying, harrowing run, and I'm through this. Look at the perspective here. That's my canoe right there. You can even see it. Well, I decided I'm just gonna go for it. If I dump, I dump. Okay. Now time to jump in the boat and have a blast running rapids and be a little terrified. Well, the weather's starting to look a little better. Nice to run rapids when it's not freezing cold. All right, first order of business is a bit of a front ferry, so I can bypass this gravel bar here without getting hung up on it. Pretty serious rapid here, not gonna lie. Yeah, back on the water. Got a pretty strong headwind. Well, around the next corner is that rapid. I couldn't scout properly, so I wussed out. I've been just avoiding everything, and I eddied out, and I'm gonna go have another look at it. Well, there it is, and it is manageable. Stay hard right. A lot of holes. Any of these little specks of white here on the way in, if I hit it left, I dump, but I can get through here. But as long as I gotta avoid these rocks and holes on the way there, if I hit any of those, I dump, or swamp and then dump. There's another one here. Sometimes the way you have to run them is slow and it makes it look easy. It's not as dramatic as bombing it and like waves splashing everywhere, but you have more control. That's it for the marked rapids. Here's we have the canyon continues. Oh, well, it's a tight corner, so I'm gonna try to go on the outside here. It's just huge standing waves and curling waves blasting straight into a rock wall. So I'm gonna try to take it hard on the outside and eddy out and avoid all that, or just back very hard right. out here, a boiling eddy. I got this. Wow, this is so cool. Yeah, I was worried that current there was going to push me into the wall. A lot of hard physical work today, if you haven't noticed. This is just kind of boils here, that's why I'm not going anywhere until I get back in this current. And that wind is just keeping me in one spot. Here. But it looks like potentially something pretty serious right at the bottom of the canyon. Looks like just a class 2. What time is it? Probably like 4 in the afternoon. Pretty much took me all day. Well, I'm still gonna pull over and rig up my fly fishing rod because it, you know? Just out of a tributary where some clear water's pouring in. But the Bonnet Plume is a little kind of emeraldish color, sort of like an emerald gray, as you can see behind me. So I'm gonna try to match it, and I'm gonna kind of go with something bigger, because the fish, when they start to bite, they're pretty freaking aggressive, and they're just like hammering my spinners and stuff like that. So I feel like something that I can actually play more in the water as opposed to just let it drift might work pretty well. But like at the same time, a lot of the fish that I've cleaned, their stomachs have been full of insects, but also just like plant matter and just like anything. So they are just hitting stuff that's drifting past in the current, that's, you know, pouring out of those side creeks. But I'm gonna give this a shot here and take a few casts, and then I gotta make my way because I was hoping to make some distance today after the portage from hell that just about killed me. But, you know, maybe I'll camp in a decent fishing spot, who knows? And, you know, maybe I'll stop here and there just to stretch the legs and take a couple casty poopses. Where I was doing really well is like literally right at the mouth where it pours out. I think that's where the more oxygenated water is, but also where they can get first picks at any insects and stuff that are washing out of that creek into the Bonnet Plume. So I think I'm gonna move on, but I got my fly rod rigged up now, and I'm hoping maybe I can catch something on it before the end of the trip. Is not so clear, so this eddy isn't the best. The visibility isn't that great, unfortunately, because the eddy is amazing. But this creek is almost the same color it looks like as the Bonnet Plume. There's one. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah! First fish on the fly. That's dinner right there. There's one. I'll just keep this guy. I got him through the eye. Okay, well, there we go. Got dinner and just picking my way down river. Don't know how much time I'm really gonna have to stop again, but that was another braid of the same creek where I first tried. That's the second braid. So the creek splits up and that all has the same source. Just gonna keep picking my way. I might push late into the evening to like 9 or something tonight to try to make some distance and then just cook those fish up quick for dinner and jump into bed and try to make it an early day tomorrow. God, that's gorgeous. I just feel like it's impossible to capture this. So incredible. There's no way that anything I can do can really come close to what it's actually like out here. We kind of have like 3 different kind of mountain ranges meet here. The Renko range, the Bonnet Plume range, and a range in the Mackenzie Mountains as well. So that's one of the reasons why it's kind of so epic scenery wise. God, it's so beautiful here. Well, I was thinking about camping here. This is Corn Creek, but it sucks. First of all, the water is muddy and cloudier than the Bonnet Plume, so the fishing would suck. And second of all, it's just a really low-lying gravel bar with large rocks, and yeah, it's just exposed and not a nice place to camp. But there's a wicked headwind blowing up and it's getting pretty freaking late. It's got to be probably pushing 9 o'clock right now. So I pushed on. I made it, I don't know, like 20k or more past the Portage, but maybe I'll just take the mouth of the next creek and bang off another 5k. Hopefully this headwind dies off though, because it sucks. Corn Creek, you looked so nice on the map, but you turned out to be the color of crap. Wow, there's all snow on the ground all through here. Well, I think I'm gonna try to find a place to camp here. Clearly it's not the warmest. Maybe on the ground right beside the creek. But we'll have to make this work. Weather's turning on me and it's after 9. Aha! Not the first to have decided to camp here. This will work. Wow, that looks ominous. Wow! Just after I got to camp, I just started getting hammered with rain and hail. But like, crazy looking storm that way. Looks fine pretty much that way. And over here, We have a rainbow. Here is our campsite. It's freaking beautiful. Right at the mouth of this creek that comes out of a canyon in the mountains. And when I showed up, all kinds of horrific weather hammered me, blasting hail. There was actually some thunder and lightning, which is rare for the Yukon. And I was like, oh my God, here we go. It's a survival situation. And then all of a sudden it cleared up and it was like this. 2 seconds later, bizarre, there's a beautiful rainbow. So I'm expecting it to go to shit again. Maybe not that bad, but it seems that there's some more weather blowing in. And anyways, it's already late. It's probably like 9:30 right now. So I'm gonna just cook up those fish and get to bed as quickly as possible because I want to be up at 6 tomorrow. So I have time to do all the things I want to do here and finish on time. I'm gonna have to paddle for sure 50 kilometers tomorrow. But I also want to spend a couple hours hiking up this creek and panning for gold. I'll sleep when I get home. Too many exciting things to do out here. We'll see how I feel in the morning because today there's a lot of energy expended, we'll say, like a lot. Man, it gets really wet with sweat under my dry suit, especially when I'm portaging endlessly, and then with the rain and sweat, there's only so much your raincoat works in a torrential downpour. Good day today though. I mean, tough day with the portaging, but at this point that seems like it was a long time ago. Yeah, I'm just glad I managed to get through all that safe and sound despite the extra portaging that I had to do because of that. Knowing how to manage whitewater enables me to get to places like this where very, very few people ever get to go and experience this kind of country and the fishing and do something that really challenges you that few people ever get to do or have the gumption even to do. Tough going on the portage though, like slippery. I fell a couple times. It was pretty sketchy. At one point I fell and the bag on my top started rolling down the hill. I knew it was going to happen. I just grabbed it, and when I looked up it would have rolled down and potentially whipped off the canyon wall into the river. So that was my tent and my clothes and everything. And then the other time I just fell on a bunch of pointy rocks and oh God, quite a thing to have accomplished in the driving rain. And then after that, got nice for a bit and I dealt with a long, challenging rapid. I couldn't really scout the end, so I ran the top part, eddied out, scaled up a really steep hill, scrambled up it basically and walked a distance and saw that there was a manageable rapid. I hit it nice and slow in control, felt good about that. And then I busted out my fly rod and the second spot I tried, boom, 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 got 3 fish, kept 2, and that was awesome. And then I put 25K behind me as well on top of all that. Anyways, feels good to get into some dry socks. Ah, yes, what a great feeling. So yeah, hopefully the rain holds off. I'm gonna get a fire going, and if it starts to rain, I'll whip my rain pants on and maybe whip a tarp up. But really, it's super late. I just want to eat something quick and go to bed. So that's the plan. some red sky, red clouds, so maybe that means it's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow, fingers crossed. Got my fish cleaned up, boiled some water for some tea, and I'm just going to let this fire burn down a bit before I start cooking my fish and go to bed. I'm just going to have a little snack. Bring a couple of these cans of smoked mussels, and I get it all to myself.
That's gotta be gold.
Look at this cool cabin.